Now, if you do not have an Airtel Tigo SIM card, chances are you might be missing a lot and you might want to quickly run to go and purchase an Airtel Tigo SIM card. Because good news, 5G is in Ghana and Airtel Tigo has been the first to implement this and actually make a public declaration that they have 5G network up and running. So those and many more I'm going to talk about in this video, the possibilities of 5G, what we can do to make it work. Is it really something that is even tangible? And many more packed in this video. My name is Apiamera. Let's get right into it.
Multimedia Academy.
So on November 1st, 2024, the Ministry of Communications, headed by Honorable Mrs. Ursula Owusu and the gentleman of the land, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Addo, launched 5G officially in Ghana. The event was held at Accra and they talked about a lot of things about 5G and the possibilities and impact 5G could have on a country like Ghana. Now, after the implementation, MTN, Telecel, Glo, does Glo even exist? Let's just say all the telcos in Ghana have not said anything about it except Airtel Tigo, which made a public declaration on their social media profiles that they have officially also jumped into 5G. Now, this is mainly because Airtel Tigo is like the least of all the telcos in the country, and MTN and Telecel have all taken huge leaps ahead of them. And you know, recently Airtel Tigo got acquired by the government, and so to give it that competitive advantage, Airtel Tigo would be the first, or should I say, has been the first telco in the country to actually receive 5G network. And this they posted on their social media platforms. Now, 5G in Ghana would be available in the major urban areas, that is Accra, Kumasi, Takra, and should be accessible to everyone and all the other networks by December. And if by December you do not have 5G, go and report your telco, because this is what the Communications Minister, Honorable Ursula Owusu, said, and I quote, "If you live in the initial 5G catchment areas and still cannot access 5G by December, kindly call out your network operator, because they have to make it available to you." Violence. And so the communication minister is basically telling us that if by December we do not have 5G, that is if you are living in Accra, Kumasi or Takoradi, then you have to call out your telco providers, because they have put everything in place to make sure 5G works. Now, what about those of us who are not living in these main urban areas? Now, yesterday, according to what they said at the event, by 2026, which sounds like a long time from now, 5G should be accessible to each and everyone in every part of the country. Now, this is what I think. 5G is awesome. 5G is incredible, and it would help Ghana as a country better implement some of these digitization and digitalization initiatives spearheaded by this Nana Akufo-Addo government and the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, 5G introduction in the country would help boost many of these systems that the government is putting in place to make sure that information and other structures are accessible to each and everyone in the country. Aside the country benefiting from it, we the citizens of Ghana would also benefit hugely from 5G, because I mean, me that I'm a content creator, sometimes you're uploading YouTube videos and it takes like 3, 4, 5 hours just to finish uploading. I know businesses and other entities also rely on internet, even in the healthcare sector, agriculture, almost every part of the economy or the individuals in the country rely hugely on internet, and the introduction of 5G would be something that would be very, very, very beneficial to us and the country as a whole. But what happened to 4G? Because the 4G in the country, I mean, it's not something you can actually boast of. It's not something that you can actually be proud of and speak about it. Because basically 4G in Ghana is like 3G or 3.5G, where even getting up to 50 megabytes per second in this country is a huge problem. Now with Airtel Tigo, they don't have 4G. Why don't they fix the 4G first, and they are now rushing to implement 5G when you do not even have 4G? Now to all the other telcos, data in this country is bad. Internet connection in this country is very, very bad. Your phone is on 4G, and to send a file of about 2 gigabytes would have to take like 2 hours or 3 hours. Why does that have to be the reality we as citizens are facing in the country? The 4G system already is bad. It's a mess, except a few areas where they experience great network connection. But basically, 80% or 70% of the country experiencing 4G in Ghana is not something that is so enjoyable and something that we can really actually enjoy. So why are we rushing to fix 5G when we have not implemented 4G and gotten the most out of 4G internet connection? Because 4G is great. If you've actually used 4G at an area where the network is very great, you know that the 4G internet is super enjoyable. But here's the case: most of the parts in the country do not even have access to 4G. We've not fixed 4G yet. So why are we rushing as a country to fix 5G? Because right now I'm tempted to believe that the 5G is just being implemented so that some group of people can use it as a campaign message to win elections. Because 4G, I mean, to get to 5G, at least from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, I mean, we should be expecting something wonderful. But then 4G is not in this country. And now we are going on to 5G. Are we not, as citizens of the country, tempted to believe that the 5G would just be as the 4G? Also, another concern with 4G that we are even experiencing now, data is very, very expensive. Now, to get 1 gigabyte of data in the country, you have to spend like 10 cedis or 7 cedis in order to get about 1 gigabyte. So data in the country is very, very expensive, on top of the network being bad. That is even 4G. What of now that we are going into 5G? What do you think data cost would be? But then yesterday at the event, the president of the land, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, my man, I like the man so much. I don't know, he has aura and charisma, and I just like his personality. I mean, this is no partisan something, but I just like him for who he is. Made mention that with the introduction of 5G, the government is working with the stakeholders and the various telcos to be able to make internet, or to be able to make 5G accessible and affordable for everyone as much as they can be able to influence. Now, with that being said, who can access 5G? Assuming you live in the major urban areas, or let's say we are in 2026 and everybody can access 5G, you watching cannot access 5G because your phone cannot access 5G. There are devices which are 5G enabled. Me personally, the device I use, which is the Samsung Galaxy A05, is up to 4G. And so if 5G is introduced in the country, I'm not part of the people that are going to enjoy the 5G, except I change into a 5G enabled phone. Up to iPhone 11, even those people with iPhone 11 cannot access 5G. So you have to check online for your device model and see if that device can actually access, and see if that device can actually accept or access, and see if that device can actually get 5G. And Yes, 5G in Ghana, basically explain. I have a full video explaining 5G into detail. Yes, and if this is something you'd want to learn more about, and if you'd want to watch this video right here on the screen. If you found this video helpful, like this video, subscribe, and put us on post notifications so that whenever we post awesome tech content like this, you'd be notified. Let me know what you think in the comment section. My name is Apia, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.